to India's seafood industry then. Reports suggest that average wholesale price for a pound of peeled tail on white shrimp has climbed to $6.25. This marks a 21% rise versus April. This is caused by the imposition of 50% tariffs on import of goods from India. And to understand this and the impact on India's shrimp exporters, we now have Mr. Nitin Awasthi, analyst at InCred Research Services. Mr. Awasthi, afternoon, and thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. If you can clarify this for us, since you talk to a lot of other industry experts as well, have shrimp prices risen as much as 21% since April? And what is the kind of impact we are seeing on Indian shrimp exporters on account of the 50% tariff that was imposed in the month of August this year? Mr. Awasthi, request you to please unmute your mic.
Just 1 second. Am I audible now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, apologies. Yes. So let me break the question down into two parts. One, is the price up? Firstly, just a slight correction on what you mentioned. The price that you mentioned is for a pound of shrimp. So for a kg of shrimp, which is the denominator we normally track in India and we have our matrix set up on, the multiplication would be that into 2.2. So you will have the shrimp price on a kg basis, the base shrimp price moving to $14-15, which is there in the US. Now this, I think last month I was there on your channel talking to you, and I already mentioned that this is already the case. And this is the base price of the base product. The end retail product, which the retailer is buying in the US for a cooked or a ready-to-cook product, is already up 100% from pre-tariff levels. So there's no doubt about the price of shrimp being higher in the US. Number two, why is this happening? Of course, Indian shrimps are not reaching there, and because of that, there is a problem. We are the largest exporters as a country to the US. Secondly, apart from us, we are about 40% market share, and apart from us, we have 40% market share is with Ecuador and Indonesia. So Indonesia as a country is having a lot of problems with exporting shrimp to the United States. They have had problems. Some products of their aquaculture products have been seen to have thrown out radiation, and that has caused a lot of panic and a lot of checks out there, and withdrawal of that product from the shelves itself. Again, this is something which we had highlighted about 2 months back. But of course, at that time, this was a developing story. As of now, it's full blown out there. The shrimps have been recalled from the shelves itself. And of course, no further imports are happening from that country, which is about a 20% supply to the US market itself. So there's no doubt that the price is up. There's no doubt that the price will increase further.
Okay, and how much price increase are you penciling in? And is the industry and demand being impacted on account of surge in prices?
Demand growth, definitely. Because when something is so expensive, you're not going to shell out more money for it. So demand growth, definitely. However, from an India side, our exports for the first half, which was done, we were already cumulatively 10% higher on the volume side, 20%, 20 to 25% higher on the value side. The next 2 months data, which is about to come out, August, September, we are expecting a little dip. However, the dip is going to be on the volume front and not on the pricing front. So this year, at least on a yearly basis, we'll end up at a positive terrain. We should be hitting a new record on a calendar year basis.
Okay, and
in spite of all the volatility that has happened.
Understood. And you also recently came out with a report that non-tariff barriers are likely to aid shrimp exports to Switzerland and several other countries. If you can elaborate that for us, will this then eventually aid India's shrimp industry, because it will open up new markets for India, isn't it?
Definitely. So traditionally, India has exported shrimps to US and China. So these are the two major markets that India exports to. These are also the two largest markets in the world. Apart from this, there's Japan that we export to, which is a large market. But between before Japan and after China and US, you have the European market which comes in. The European market is something that has been completely blocked off for India for a number of reasons. And most analysts, including myself, don't even consider this as a market for India to export to. So when we take a market share of our exports, we just exclude the European Union as a whole, because we know that India is not going to be able to make a dent there. the things that have transpired with the trade deals which have happened with UK, also the trade deal with EU, also the recent ones which have happened specifically with the three countries, Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, seem to just reverse that whole factor. And that's a huge market coming to India. So if you look at the EU as a market itself, that market can be as big as the US market.
Understood. And US was a big market for Indian shrimp exporters, and now because of the surge in prices, because of tariffs, and that is impacting demand. If you can tell us, if you are in talks with the industry, have they approached the government for any kind of relief on tariff front or any other kind of support that they are seeking to combat the impact of tariff and its impact on demand?
They have on benefit past sessions. And we have seen this increase.
All right, I think we have snapped that line. But Mr. Awasthi, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us understand